Hey guys, welcome back to VinceVellCustoms. So today we're going to start off with this Sentry kit that I just finished up. Now I did a kit review on this specific kit, so go check that out. Give you an idea how it's all broken down. And I finally finished them up. And I got to kind of go over the base first, add him to the base, then go over him because he's just so big and bulky that I don't have a lot of room on my little photo studio here. So I want to make sure I can show you how I broke it all down and show you the statue at the same time. So it's kind of, well, not really that complex, but I tried to make it a little bit easier. So this is the base, and really cool sculpt. I really like this base a lot. It tells a story, and I always like bases that tell a story, but you know, go with the character and stuff. So the idea of this, you know, just completely blowing out, you know, like some kind of a, you know, landscape with a building and stuff just makes it look really cool. So you can see all the pillars are in here and it's all dirty. I wanted to go more of a darker look because I wanted to focus more on Sentry being brighter because I didn't want the base to fight with him. It's a really cool base, but I wanted to keep it dark. I'm going to get in a little bit closer and I'll kind of show you what I did. And at the end of my video of the review, I thickened up this piece here. So as you can kind of see what I did with it. It's a little bit thicker, so it was about this wide here, but I widened it up and I put that metal rod in there. So now the key goes into his foot, but then some of his foot also sits on this piece here, which is kind of good. So that worked out pretty cool. Now all these pieces are really I like the way these pieces are designed for this base, but I just didn't like the way the pieces are keyed into the base. I really wish that they would have made a really good key where you can add a magnet to it and it pops in and out. The way this works out is these pillars are basically pillars being shoved into the base. There's no like kind of really of a key like you would normally see with like a pre-painted statue of like Sideshow with, you know, the head or arm going in and out of a statue. This is a little bit different. So I had to come up with kind of a system where all these pieces could come out and I can ship the item, and then the client can actually put this back in on his end. So what I came up with, we're going to kind of go around. Each pillar goes in and out fairly easy. So what I did is I put a little piece of paint under each one, and I put a piece of paint there. So if at any time when I send it to the client, he mixes up the pieces, at least it'll get an idea of what's going on. So that piece has like silver, and then this piece has like a little bit of a brown, and then you know that goes with that little brown. You got to kind of look into the key area. So this one has a little bit of a blue, and there's a little blue there, so you know this one goes here. You know, so it just slides in. Now, sadly, when you slide it in, it's going to scrape the paint. There's nothing you can do about that. It's just the way it is. But basically, when you slide it in, you're not seeing that scraping anyway. And then we go here, so we got a little bit of an orange piece, so you know this orange goes here. You know. One of the most complex is this back stuff. So this piece right here kind of comes out, and it's a little bit of a white paint there, and then this one comes out. You got to put in this one first, and then we got pink and pink. So this one you got to kind of place it in a little bit, and then you got to kind of put this one over on top of it. Now what I also did is I put a tiny bit of gold on some of the pillars, and I'll kind of show you why I did that in a second. But you know that this piece goes in there like that, and that goes like that. And this is the most complex one, I think, right here, because the way it fits in. You got to kind of, you know, that's a little bit of a purple and a purple. So this one you got to kind of push it in. It doesn't, it feels like it's not going in, but you got to kind of play with it, and then it goes in. And then, you know, the other pillars are the same thing. You know, this one's got like a deeper purple, and that's got a deeper purple, so you know that goes there, and so on. So also for all these little pieces here, these are the little pieces come in and out because these are like the little metal rods. What I did is I just kind of dremel up the hole a little bit bigger, so you don't really need to know where they go. You just need to put a piece into those pieces. That's pretty much what I came up with. So, alright, so on to the paint. That's kind of like the engineering of the base. That's kind of what I came up with. Just makes things a little bit easier. So once I painted up the base, I did all my, you know, rock detailing, and I did my dirt and all that stuff. So I wanted the inside of the base to kind of give a glow, that it's the Sentry, you know, the yellow sun type glowing stuff. So I did a lot of clear coating, and then I did some alkali chrome, and then I cleared that, and I did some other stuff. And then what I did is I dry brushed around the edges of the inside of the pillar, so you can see a little bit of a gold tint here. There's a little bit of a gold around there, a little bit gold here, maybe around there. And if you go up to this one, there's a little bit there. So I wanted to do it like the reflection of the glow is kind of hitting subtle areas around it. So it's not just located in here. You got some of the, you know, a little bit of dry brush and the gold here, some around these edges over here. So it's kind of like a glowing going around. So that's kind of my idea for that. And that's kind of what I came up with. And it worked out pretty cool. I wanted to keep the pillars that red, rusty look because, you know, when you build a building, a lot of the times I see them, it's always a red. It's not really like metal. It's not really like grays. I mean, sometimes they're grays, but most of the ones I see around here are always red. So I kind of went with that deep red rust look, and I did some dry brushing and all that stuff. So that's what I came up with those pillars. Just wanted to keep it nice and dark. So let's go on to Sentry. So, kind of piece them together as I go. So you got to kind of bear with me on this. And he's big, so we got to kind of play with the camera too. So the key, as you can see, is a little bit bigger, and he goes in here fairly good now, and that works out really good. So he's in there nice and tight now. We have more a little bit meat underneath his foot, and the pillar is really nice and strong, so he's not going anywhere. And so we can kind of see what we did with the body, as you can kind of see. Now we're going to put on the cape. Now the cape, the way it is, as you can see, of course this gets scraped up too, but there's nothing you can do about it in certain areas. So we got two prongs on the cape, as you see. My goal in the beginning was I was going to actually throw a metal rod in here and a metal rod there, magnets and stuff, and then a magnet in the hand. But sadly, it just wasn't going to work. There was no way, because they actually, the good thing about this is they casted this up with a metal rod in here. I don't know how far it goes down. I forgot to check with a magnet, but this is up, so it's pretty secured now, so that's actually kind of cool. So that's a good thing with the kit. So what I came up with, the way this works is basically I didn't do any kind of magnets or anything like that. It's just a matter of putting it in, and it just kind of clicks in place. So let me do this without stepping on anything. So the way this works is you just kind of find the two little holes into the back of you push it in, just kind of push it in, and then what you kind of do is you just kind of bring the hand and you snap it in place, and you push this all the way back in, and then you got the cape. So it worked out pretty good. You probably would want to put them on the base first and then, you know, throw on the pillars, but that's pretty much what it works into the back. So as you can kind of see, it just clicks in very nice, and I don't have to worry about any magnets, and it's not going anywhere. So that's kind of cool. So that's a really good cape design. I'm really happy with that. A lot of times I get capes from Statues where you got to kind of do some tweaking with some magnets and stuff, and that's how you work out those. So the other thing too is now we got on the hand. So what I did is on this hand, we could kind of, hold on. So as you can kind of see, I did a metal rod deeper into that, and this actually goes in here with a magnet. So it's a little bit tricky. Just got to kind of get it, and it clicks in place. Alright, and then on to two heads. Now, actually, before I painted it, I actually liked this head better. Just the regular head without the beard. But then after I painted them up, I said, you know what, the bearded head looks better because of the way we did the glowing eyes. So I'm going to start off with that one. It's my favorite now. And I added magnets onto that. So let's get the camera up a little bit higher. And then we kind of break down everything we did. So it's a fairly long video, but you gotta see how I just kind of did all this stuff. Plus I'm also doing this for the client, so this way when he gets it, he can actually see it on his end too, you know. So head's awesome. I really like this head sculpt. He decided for this head, no eye pupils, we're going to do a glow. So what I did was I did Tamiya chrome silver, let it dry, and then I hit it with some clear yellow, but I also did a little bit of yellowing around the eye sockets too. So it really looks like it's glowing eyes. And then I realized once I painted the eyes, it looks like he actually had sculpted eye pupils. So I was like, you know what? That really even helps it better. It really makes it look like it's glowing. So that worked out pretty cool. So we'll pop in the other head too while we're up this close. And the younger head, he wanted just pupils. And it's just more of a younger one. Pretty cool. I like it. I mean, the head sculpts are amazing. They really are beautiful head sculpts. And I like the hair flow. The hair flow was really good. A little complex on the hair because they did a seam line going up around the hair to the nose. So this one I had to kind of tweak out some eyebrow muscles, the nose in a bit, and kind of take out some of that seam. So that was a little bit difficult. But now that it's all painted up, I like this bearded one better. I just like looking at it. So we're going to go back to that one. Alright, so the blues on him is just basically like kind of a flat blue with some interference blue colors. I didn't want to go too crazy with pearls on it. I wanted to keep him more superhero-ish because the yellow outfit, looking at all the Sentry stuff on the way he's drawn, it's basically your basic yellow and, you know, some shading of you know, like brownish orange type stuff. So I kind of wanted to keep it that route. Hopefully it's showing in the pictures in the camera pretty well. So you can kind of see I did a lot of blending to keep it flowing with all his muscles and all that. And it worked out pretty good. So the yellow is straightforward. I didn't want to add a lot of pearls to it, so I did miss a little bit of a pearl yellow over it at the end, just to give it a little bit more of a pop, but nothing too crazy. Now the S on his chest, his waist was a lot more fun. This is kind of when I had a lot of fun. Once everything was done on the body, I masked off the S, and what I did is I did some really cool metallic blues in here, but then I kind of dulled it down. And then what I did is I did a glow around the S, and then I masked off the S, and I did this little blending of yellow and white, just to kind of give it that glowing S that you see in the comics. So I figured, instead of focusing all pearls on him, let's focus on the S to make that look like it's glowing more. So as you can kind of see, it works out pretty cool. And then I gloss coated his belt just to give it more of a shine. So we got a lot of different looks to him, and it worked out pretty good. Of course, all the flesh tones are Garage Kit Colors flesh tones. I really like their fleshes, and it worked out pretty cool. As for the cape, it is what I did was, it's all a duplicolor metallic blue. I did all the cape next. I really wanted the cape to be a really secured and good paint coat of enamel, and I did that, and then I dulled it down with some blue paint. So we got a little bit of a subtle difference. You probably might not be seeing it in the camera, but you can see the difference of the blues. I wanted the blue to be a little bit more of for the cape to be a little bit brighter, and his outfit to be a little bit darker, only because some of the drawings have a lot of that colors into him. So you see how all that worked out. Like I said, I love Garage Kit flesh tones. You really get a nice good flesh of everything. And as you can see, he works with all the base. So what we'll do is we'll going to go back with the camera a little bit so we get the whole figure in. Like I said, he's one big kid. It's no joke. So we can see how he's looking now. I gotta go back even further. Jeez. Alright, so you can see how big this kid is. It's no joke. Let's get on this side so we can turn him. So it's a really beast of a kit. But it's really cool. I mean, if you're a Sentry fan, this is the kit to have of Sentry. And it just works out pretty good. Really great design. Like I said, just a few little engineering issues, but I think this was done a while back, though, if I'm not mistaken. It's one of, like, you know, one of these first kits and stuff, and I think the guy who produces it just does a little bit more work. It's from Bushi Collector, and Daniel Bell, if I'm not mistaken, is the one who sculpted it. But like I said, it's an older kit. I've had it for a while. It was something that was sent to me. I didn't plan out, but it's pretty much done now. So breaks down pretty well. So we'll have the body, this hand, the head, the cape separated, the base is separated with all these little pieces. Everything's color coded, and it works out pretty good. So that is Sentry. Happy to get him done. It was a lot of work, and it worked out pretty cool though. And hopefully you guys like the way he came out. So thanks for watching, and we'll be back with some more videos.